What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Gulls Nest. This episode, we will be talking about the infielders, and as always, we have
Yes.
Adam the Mallett to
What's up,
the right
everybody?
of me over there.
Well, we got 15
This
days. 15
we have
days to opening day,
15
right?
days. That's right, 15 days to opening day. We have completed the pitches, the catches, and now in the next couple episodes, we're going to be working on the infielders. And the schedule is going to get a little crazy because you're going to be watching this episode. It's Wednesday when you're watching this episode. We're going to be missing a week because of Memorial Day, but then a week after that, we're going to jump in and finish the players, and that'll bring us right to opening day on the 4th of June. So we're almost there. We're cranking through these. And as a disclaimer, as we said before, the roster may be different than it is than the players we talk about, and there might be people added, there might be people subtracted. We don't really know. We're kind of just flying by the edge of our seat at this point.
True.
But so let's kick it off. Let's kick it off with our first infielder. His name is Jack Doyle. Jack is from Northeastern University. Local boy, lives in from Weymouth, Massachusetts. He's 6 feet, 200 pounds. He's a senior this year at Northeastern, which is nice and convenient for him, right down the street. And I'm going to use his college stats as suggested by you, because that seems to be a little more up to date. All right,
Yeah,
so
518.
all right, what position does he play? That's the question.
He is a
This,
second and third baseman, I believe. That's what he's listed as on the Huskies. I mean, on Huskies, on the Gulls website. Um,
oh, how did I miss that?
so I guess we'll go with that.
That's my
Let's
first
player
day.
profile on the Gulls website.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Third baseman, second baseman. Here we go. Throws right, bats right. All right. So we know he's a senior. He's this season high. He's got 2 hits, 2 doubles, a home run, 3 runs scored, 5 bags in, 2 stolen bases, 5 assists, and it's at bats. What is
He's
he
got 6 home
batting?
runs.
6
He's
home
got
runs.
six
What
home
am I?
runs. He's batting 284 and 116 at bats.
All right, so I see season highs, 1 home run from the Northeastern website.
I'm on the
That's
Northeastern website too. Hitting statistics. If you go down versus totals, right there,
let's
he
go
has
down.
116 at bats.
Oh, all right. So I'm still getting acclimated with this website. All right, there we go. All right, so
Okay. Yeah.
2024, it's batting 284, which is pretty good.
Yep.
31 games, 116 at bats. Okay, yeah, 25 runs, 33 hits, 11 doubles, which is good. You don't see a lot of doubles these
Yeah.
days on players. The double is a key thing. I think the double is a very helpful statistic if you're able to get that,
Oh,
because it also
big time. Yeah.
gives you that extra, gets you in scoring position right away.
Yep.
And it also means you have speed if you're able to get a double most of the time. And it just makes it easier for you to score. You're 90 feet closer than you were if you were just getting a single. It's an
Yeah.
under. I think doubles should, my opinion, should be stressed to be able to obtain more because it's more beneficial than a base hit, because you get a base hit after that, you're scoring rather than maybe getting to third, maybe second, depending on the
Yeah.
situation, right? So,
And as the obvious too, you hit a double, you're likely to knock somebody in. You know.
mhm, absolutely on that too. 7 home runs total since he's been. So look at it. We'll look at his hitting
I'm seeing
stats
6.
collectively. 6 this year, 7 total. I'm looking at the totals
Uh,
for like the 3 years combined. That'll give you a good
okay.
assessment. On base, 300, 381 on base percentage. Pretty good. Does he walk? Yes, he does. 16 walks this season. Um, but what the hell is HBP? I always forget that one.
Hit by pitch.
Hit by pitch. Well, all right. 6 hit by pitches this season. Seems a lot. So you must hug the plate. That
Yeah.
shows you're an aggressive batter if you get hit by,
That's
I think,
good.
that much, right? Because
It's good
you
to not be
stay
afraid.
right. You're hanging in there, and his slugging percentage is 534. So he's definitely going to be a offensive powerhouse. Does he have a collective fielding statistics? I'm curious what his defense looks like.
He
which
has struck
is
out three. He has struck out 23 times, but like honestly, I don't care about that. Like I always say, like striking out's still better than hitting into a double play. You know what I mean? So
absolutely. And like what I always say too is that even the best hitters are going to strike out 7 out of 10 times, anyways, right? For the most part,
mm,
if you're averaging 300, and if he's striking out because he's swinging at the ball and he's being aggressive with it, that's perfectly fine. I don't mind that. It's the people that strike out just looking at the ball, or and he also obviously walks, so he does take some pitches, which is good too. So he's not overly aggressive, but
yeah.
aggressive enough to be able to maintain, which is good. So looking forward to seeing him play either second or third base. Um, Second and third base. That's interesting to me because it's like they're almost like mirrored positions almost, right? I mean, when you think about it, like third base, you're like that, and you
Yeah.
get this much territory. With second base, you're kind of doubling it up on what you gotta cover. You know what I mean?
Yes. You got to
I
pay
always was,
attention for sure.
yeah. Third base was definitely one of the most I think the most one of the most difficult positions because especially when you get a righty batter up there, you can take a line drive at you in no time. You don't even see it coming. You know what I mean? He
No, it's
cuts
true.
that thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Jack Doyle. All right. So who we get up next? We on the list. We have Ryan. I want to say Heros. I'm gonna use the
Jaros,
J.
yeah, I don't know how he pronounces it. Yeah, this could go south real fast.
Yes.
Yeah, Ryan Yaros,
Yaros,
maybe. Yeah,
Jaros,
Jaros,
Haros.
Jaros,
Well,
huh?
call him Ryan J for the sake of discussion. How's that sound?
I like it.
Uh, Ryan,
Yeah.
he's a 6'3", 215 Georgia Tech senior from Crawford, New Jersey. It looks like he goes to Mississippi State.
Hmm.
Nice, nice school down there, down in the SEC. Great
Wait,
baseball school.
wait, am I in the
Uh,
wrong one? Hold on. I have him at the Georgia Tech. No? Oh,
oh,
wow. I must be in the
well,
wrong
no,
person.
you do it. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong guy.
Oh,
Ah,
you're looking at the wrong guy. That's like,
joke's on me. Yes, Georgia Tech.
oh,
Here we go. I get
okay, thank
stats right
God. I
here.
was like,
Oh
shit.
yeah, I'm looking at him. I'm like, okay, but it says okay.
He's from Jersey.
So it is from Jersey, but Georgia Tech has him listed as a freshman, whereas
Yeah,
the Gulls website has him listed as a
interesting.
senior.
I will say his
So,
bio on the college website is like a love letter. It says rated as the number six third baseman in the country, number
mhm.
one third baseman in the state of New Jersey, number four overall by perfect game.
Wow. Okay. This is
That's
coming
fire.
out of 2020 state champs. Um, all right, that's pretty impressive. All right, where's his
Exactly. I'm
stats
trying to
here?
find his. I think Baseball Reference is the only way we can go with that one. I can't find anything on the college website that's current.
Yeah. What do you get on baseball reference on this fella?
On Baseball Reference, I have let's see him batting 2024 so far. He is batting 368 and 47 343 and 47 at bats. Last year he had 111 at bats and batted 378. So he can hit the ball. Not much of a power hitter, 2 home runs, 22 RBIs though. So that's pretty good. So 37 hits. No, sorry, yeah, 98 at bats, 37 hits.
I like the
And
career
then
slugging percentage. The 564 is always good. On base percentage over
yeah,
one, very
yeah.
promising.
The,
Um,
the first 100 at bats are critical too. Like he just crushes it. They always say get your first 100 at bats. They have to be, they should be good. It's kind of an uphill battle after your first 100 at bats.
yeah, and he's got a strong lifetime batting average over the course of the 2 years. Uh,
Yeah, it's very
368 is pretty
promising.
strong, right? Not a home run
Yeah,
hitter. He is
no,
drawing some walks, which is good. Strikeouts, whatever. 23 strikeouts, but it's at 113 at bats. Come on. You know what I mean? That's pretty damn good right
yeah.
there. Best third baseman in New Jersey, number 6 overall. Uh,
Ooh,
that's pretty proud. It's gonna be pretty exciting to see this kid play because those are pretty
yeah,
impressive stats.
I
Third base,
agree.
like we just said, third base is a hard position to play. Um,
What's his fielding?
I'm looking through some of the leagues he played in. He looks like he played in the South Jersey ACBL, which I think I'm gonna assume it's like a what is the ACBL? Is that like a Junior College or something like that.
I think so.
Atlantic Collegiate League. Okay, I think it's like a college. I think it's like a summer league, perhaps.
Hmm.
Not familiar with it, but well, that's a promising statistic right there. So that's
No, it really is.
kid's gonna hit the ball out of the pocket. And actually Georgia Tech, we think we talked about this last episode. They've produced a lot of really good baseball players.
Hmm.
Um, you had Jason Veritek come out of there. I believe Noma came out of there as well. Um, and it's just overall, it's an ACC team. ACC does good. They have usually a pretty good baseball program down there. That and the SEC, I think, are the two best in the country, to be honest with you, college baseball. So that's looking forward to seeing him. Oh, okay, so he must be a freshman. He's 19 years old. So I think the
Yeah.
Gulls website just has it listed incorrectly. He was born in 2004. What were you doing in 2004?
Being a stupid kid.
Yeah.
3 years out of high school.
I can tell you what you weren't doing in 2004. You weren't the sixth best third baseman in all of New Jersey.
Nope, I was not.
I might have been I would have been lucky if I was the sixth best third baseman on my team at that point. So that is some interesting and some exciting stuff to look forward to for this upcoming season. So that's two third basemen to talk to. So I'm going to go on a limb and say that Ryan's going to probably be the starting third baseman. Jack's probably going to be pushed over the second. What do you think about that? I'm no manager, but looking at those statistics, you got to kind of go off
Yeah,
that,
he's up
right?
there. Yeah, he's up
Yeah,
there.
I'd agree. I'm looking at an inflatable unicorn costume right now.
All right.
That was 100% polyurethane material, and I had to put it on after I was done barbecuing because if I didn't, I probably would combust into a flame of really be horrific for the children watching the
That
unicorn
would
catch fire. Couldn't
that'd be
imagine that.
traumatic. That's years of therapy.
Yeah, that inflatable unicorn is a blaze, if you will, running around the house. Not good for anyone in that particular situation. So, with that said, perhaps maybe I'll be wearing the unicorn outfit to a game. That'd be interesting, huh? I can see that. Oh God,
God,
here we go. That's the start of it all.
it is.
All right, so next up is the guy who actually goes to Mississippi State that I confused the last guy with. His name is Jackson McKenzie.
Yeah, I'm reading his high school bio, and honestly, he can pitch too. This is both pitch and batted often at Pace High School in Pace, Florida, ranked 9.5 out of 10 prospect by perfect game. Number 3 ranked first baseman in the state of Florida, and ranked as the number 13 first baseman nationally. Batted 344, 56 hits, 40 RBIs, and 11 home runs, and went 7-0 with a 1.64 ERA during his time at Pace. So, I mean, obviously now
Okay,
he's in college, so the competition is going to get a
right.
little bit fiercer, but still, those are numbers that are pretty great.
Yeah, it's let's see, 200 pounds, 6'2", sophomore from, like we said, Pace, Florida, first
Yep.
baseman. See, that's a pretty impressive. Oh, to be ranked as a high first baseman coming out of the state of Florida, or I'd be ranked as any position high coming out of the state of Florida is pretty impressive because what my statistics are, I believe it's Florida, Texas, and California produce the most baseball players on the Major League
Yeah.
Baseball in the United States. And a lot of it has to do with the weather all year round, be able to play. Um, there's a lot more baseball going on down there, so you can be on a lot of more competitive like travel teams and whatnot like that. But and
Yeah.
be able to be ranked pretty highly, that's pretty good. So let's look at his season high. Let's see,
Yeah, he's not doing much right now. Only 16 at bats though, batting 188. So I mean, there's
okay.
really not much to go on.
Yep. Well, like I said, it is a competitive baseball school, so perhaps the situation is that there's a couple guys ahead of him who are taking
Yeah,
spots on the field. So that's what these collegiate leagues are all about. You get you some extra playing time in the off season. Yeah, right now he's just batting a buck 88, 11 games. How many at bats to say 7
I,
strikeouts.
I would love to know why
60.
he's a question I would love to ask him is why he's playing like a fielding position and not pitching. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
is it just maybe he prefers it? I don't know. Maybe that's just his preference. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if maybe his offensive statistics were a lot better in high school. Um, making him ranking so
I
high.
mean, his pitching is really good. I mean, 1.63
Yeah,
ERA, 7-0. I mean,
that is pretty good too. Yeah, you know, it is. It's funny. I wonder if it's a situation where you can play both, so you take a position, or perhaps you maybe you just prefer one over the other. I mean, there's like a lot of things people are good at, but they just really don't enjoy doing. You know what I mean?
no, that's
Like
true.
we can think of, you know what I mean? Like you're like, well, you're good at that. I'm like, yeah, but like if I really want to do that for the rest of my life, no. But you know, sometimes that will make you no money, but are you truly happy? That's the
That's how I,
question.
that's how I
That's the
feel about
question
my
of
day
life.
job. That's how I feel about my day job, Artie.
Purgatory. I
In
call it
purgatory.
purgatory.
That's what
When you
I
walk
call
into
it. I
that's
put that in your
what
head.
now you put
I
it in my
put
head. That's what I call it now too.
that.
You walk in and it's just like you know you can do it well, but it's just all the obstacles that go around it that could,
All the
you know,
baggage.
contribute to it,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, it's just like if you could be in that peaceful oasis, right? And just be like in your own bubble,
true.
like I am on Mondays and Fridays, which is very delightful. Um,
I hate you.
it changes your whole perspective on the rest of the week
Mm.
dramatically, dramatically. So, and so perhaps in the abyss of batting, you prefer to bat because the pitchers don't bat anymore. Maybe you like to hit the ball. Maybe you like the feeling of the infield. You know what I mean? Maybe not the mound necessarily. Things to
Maybe
think
not.
about,
Maybe
points to ponder, if you will, to
it
bring
is the point upon that.
old some old nomenclature from prior shows. There you
Hmm.
go. So I'm gonna say that Jackson will probably get some field time, but we'll probably won't see him initially, considering his first two guys we took are playing their positions that in which he also plays. But I think though, and correct me if I'm wrong, a situation like this, being in a um, collegiate kind of not I wouldn't call it like a instructional league, but more or less like a fine-tuning league, if you will. Perhaps if the opportunity does arise to pitch, perhaps this is an opportunity to do so if you chose to. You know what I mean? I know there
Yeah,
are a lot of, and it could also be there's a lot of pitchers on the roster too. So
that could be
you
it.
know, in order to make a team, you just have to decide to play the field. So I'd be interested to find out the information on that. But like you said, high school statistics are great. So let's see how
Mm.
they carry over into some competitive summer ball. So it looks like this is his first league playing summer ball, according to the stats from what I'm looking at. So um, yeah, there you go. So we got one more infielder to talk about this week. And then we'll conclude the show. And next week, or the week after, I should say, we'll conclude with the rest of the infielders and then the outfielders. And then that'll bring us into pretty much the season to talk about how that's going right there. So we're pretty much all setting ourselves up into pace to work out pretty good. So um, here we go. So the next guy we're talking about is Luke Orban. That's the
Hmm.
guy you have too? All right. So
Yep.
Luke is 6 foot, 210 from St. John's University. He's from looks like Hyde Park, New York. And he's listed as an infielder and an outfielder. And what does we have for him on his college statistics here? So this website's
It's
a little
weird because
more,
on the college website it says as a sophomore, 2023, but isn't he a senior?
yeah, it's weird, huh?
Yeah. But
I
I know
wonder.
his stats this year are, he's a solid player. Like this is I'm seeing just solid numbers, like 172 at bats, batting 262. It's good. He's
Hmm.
not a power hitter really. At least this year I don't see anything. I see how many home runs does he have? He's got 4 home runs. Okay,
Okay. Let's see.
I don't.
4 home runs. They make these
He
websites
plays a
easy to navigate.
lot. He's always out there. They rely on him a lot.
That's good. Where's St. John's? You know where St. John's University is? I want to say it's in New York, but I could be wrong. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it's New York. Yeah, we are New York's team. Yeah, on the website, it's right. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
At the top, it says we are New York's team.
So his college career statistics averages altogether for 2022, 23, and 24. He's averaging 300, which I always say 300 is your threshold. I think you gotta,
That's great.
I think a 300 or better is awesome. At 101 at bats, he seems to be aggressively getting more at bats as the seasons go on. 2022,
Yeah.
he only had 16. He almost doubled that in 23 of 36. He's on pace to, get about 50% more of that, 49 at bats this season, 2024. I would imagine a lot of these seasons for these players are probably wrapping up or enough, if not over right now. I think the
Yeah.
college World Series starts up in pretty soon. So a lot of these teams are either in the playoffs or they're out. So a lot of these guys are gonna have a couple like few weeks off before they go and play ball. Um, he has 100, 360 at bats, which is pretty good. And out of that,
Yeah.
he's hit a third of the balls, 108 hits. Perfect. That's
Yeah.
what you want, right? And look at his doubles. That's the doubles is what gets me going. I like the double statistic.
Love the
18 career doubles.
doubles.
To be honest with you, and you call me if I'm wrong, but I think a double guy, a guy can hit doubles on a regular is more valuable to a team than a guy that hits a lot of home runs but strikes out a lot. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because the
It's
way
very
I
like
look at,
Very Tony Gwynn.
well, in the fact that you have to have a fine combination, right? So you have to
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
guy that's gonna hit home runs, obviously, right? But if it's beneficial in the beginning of your lineup, if a guy that can get on base and get in extra bases, and then you have that slugger come up, I think that's one of the most beneficial things, and I think that lacks a lot in professional baseball these days. The,
Yeah,
the
that's a great
double, the double
tandem.
guy. hmm
That's a great tandem to have. It really is. Yeah.
I also think they don't make. I think a lot of the doubles, I guess, if you go to a generation or two back, had to do with the design of the ballparks and the kind of the odd shaped ballparks, I could say. Not so much the 60s and 70s eras ballpark, which was the concrete donuts, although they did have a lot of outfield. So
Hmm.
a base hit could travel and bounce around a little bit more because you had to accommodate a football field into those. But like the odder stadiums, in a sense, like the Fenways, where you could easily get a triple by hitting a ball into the outfield, just the bounces, right?
Yeah.
Um, a lot of these parks had low walls too, so they had a lot of ground root doubles that got hit too, which is pretty interesting. But I feel like the new ballparks have taken that element out of the game. They've just made the fields a little bit smaller, a little less foul
Yeah.
territory,
They're all getting
and I
kind of
think that,
cookie cutter.
unfortunately, yeah, and which is kind of sad because it's one of the elements of baseball where you can kind of design your park to be whatever you want as long as it fits
Yeah.
into certain criterias, right?
Mhm.
Um, and you build the team based on your park that you're going to be spending half the season playing. So in a sense, you find players that could, like in Fenways that can hit over the green monster or can hit line drives into that triangle and do some stuff, or even hit short balls over right field. And yeah, I think the newer ballparks is kind of, even though the design of the ballparks is starting, we're in a weird era of ballpark design right now, and I'm not feeling it. Just to go on a tangent a little bit. Um, Starting with the Rangers Stadium, it was just kind of very industrial, just a roof over a building, nothing special about it, which is kind of
Hmm.
lacking. And I feel like between Camden Yards in the early 90s up until I would say even the new Braves ballpark they opened a couple of years ago, there was still some architectural elements in the ballparks. And they gave them a little more, each field being different to play. And I think these newer ballparks, starting with that Rangers ballpark and at the renderings for the Oakland or the Las Vegas A's ballpark, it's becoming very cookie cutter in the field, and there's not much, there's not much difference between the stadiums, which is not really what baseball kind of started as. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with that said, um, season starts in a few weeks,
Yeah.
and that's another thing about these parks too. Like a lot of these collegiate league parks, they're old parks. These parks are like hundreds of years old. Some of these things I've been going. Some of these parks in these leagues were actually minor league farm parks for professional baseball teams. Like the Nashville team, for example,
Mhm.
they were a minor league team for the Dodgers when they were in Brooklyn X amount of years ago, 70, 80 years ago. So a lot of these parks have a lot of history. So they still have that kind of uh, aesthetic design to it. You know what I mean? That kind of brings you back to the old school baseball, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Which hopefully Major League Baseball kind of gets out of this industrial era and can make parks like these parks that these kids are going to be playing with because it really is a disjustice because you could really learn how to dominate very well playing in parks like this because know your strong parts and you know your weakness. Like Kane's park, like that park's fairly old. That's been around for a while, so it has the
Yeah.
history of the
Yeah.
baseball in there. So. not to go too far off a tangent on baseball design, but I felt it was appropriate since we were talking about different strategies and
No,
different
I agree.
statistics of hitting and how the statistics have gone down due to these designs. So,
Okay.
but we will leave it at that today. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Let us know what you think. Dying to know what you guys all think about this stuff and your opinions, if anything, on these plays, on points that Adam and I point out about baseball design, baseball strategies, strategies for hitting, pitching, yada yada yada. We're curious to see what your input is on those as well. So with that said, do you have anything you would like to add for the
No,
remainder of the
just
week?
excited that we're a little over, just smidge over 2 weeks until game time and we start the season. Just excited.
That's right.
That's all.
And yeah, and we'll be off a week, so we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. And enjoy Memorial Day. We'll hope
Yes.
you guys actually, yes, you will. We will be enjoying Memorial Day. This comes out before Memorial Day, so enjoy
Yes,
Memorial
will.
Day, and we'll see you guys in a couple weeks. See. Ya.